What's up, everybody? Welcome back to More to Marriage. Okay, it's your boy Marquise.
And your girl Crystal.
Now listen, today we are doing a two-part message on becoming an expert of your spouse. I was driving home the other day listening to who I feel like is one of the GOATs, Dr. Tony Evans, and he said, husbands, you should study two things, your Bible and your spouse. And I thought to myself, listen, that's right. I thought to myself, man, that is such a awesome message to unpack and think about in that idea of becoming an expert of your spouse. So this is a two-part series. Today, we're gonna be talking about part one, which is all about
sacrifice. Now, if we could just be real for just a moment, we know that sometimes we want others to sacrifice for us.
It feels good.
It feels real good. But for us to sacrifice for someone else takes work.
Exactly.
And so we're going to be talking about all of that and how to love your spouse. For me, loving my spouse the way he needs to be loved versus loving him the way that I want to. Now, how do I love you?
Yeah, you love me. When I feel loved the most, it's physical touch, okay? It's the PDA. I feel love right now.
Yes,
it's the PDA, it's the physical touch, and that to me equates to love. I feel loved in that manner. Now, Crystal, how do you love to be loved?
Through acts of service.
Acts of service.
I like, you rub my feet here and there. You wash a dish or two. Not to say dishes are for me to wash, but I love clean spaces.
Yes.
Or say we're eating and I finish my food and Marquise takes my plate and cleans it. I love that and I pay attention to that and I notice that.
Yes.
And so in loving our spouse the way they need to be loved is very important, but it does take sacrifice.
It takes sacrifice because we've learned in the beginning years of our marriage, we weren't loving each other. We were missing each other. I love to be loved by physical touch. So I'm giving physical touch and I'm thinking her cup is full. She feels loved.
He thought my cup was running over.
No. And she thought she was filling my cup by making me food and doing the acts of service. And we were missing each other. For about 2 years of our marriage, we completely missed each other because we were loving our spouse the way we like to be loved.
And it's important to ask your spouse questions. So through sacrificing and loving your spouse the way they need to be loved, the only way to know sometimes is paying attention to them is one way, but also asking questions. Hey, am I loving you properly? In this season, the way that I'm showing love to you, do you receive that well? I think sometimes we get into relationships or in our marriage and we think we have to just know our spouse. But I think asking questions and studying our spouses will help us to love them the way they need
and
to be
become
loved.
an expert. And here's why it's hard. Here's why it requires sacrifice, which is what this video is about. Because it's not going to be something that comes natural. It's not going to be intrinsic. It's not going to be, oh, this is how she wants to be loved. This is something I just love doing anyway. That's most of the time, that's not the case. And I think it's that way on purpose. They say opposites attract. We are completely opposite. We receive love oppositely, all of those things. So it requires sacrifice. So we found out that there's 3 stages to becoming natural with your spouse when it comes to loving them the way they need to be loved. So those 3 stages are awkward, mechanical, and natural. Okay, awkward.
And awkward, listen, to go to physical touch when it's like probably number 4 on my list.
Literally.
It is like dreading. It's hard. And so
I love it.
And so the awkward stage, of him wanting to be touched and rubbed while we are watching a movie together is so, I am dying.
She wants to just watch the movie.
On the inside,
That's it.
Because I just want to watch the movie. But instead, in the awkward phase, I have to tell myself, hey, touch your husband. Hold his hand. Give him a kiss. Because he is lighting up on the inside, although he doesn't know this, but now you do. And I'm dying on the inside.
That's real.
But in the awkward stage, for whatever your stage is, whenever you're trying to master or become an expert in an area, that awkwardness, you're going to feel that on the inside.
You're going to feel that weirdness.
But the person is not going to feel it on the outside. So.
Yeah, exactly. And then you move to the phase of mechanical. So think in terms of shooting a basketball, playing golf, something like that. It starts off weird. You're trying to golf and it starts off weird and it's awkward, but then it's mechanical. Okay, my coach told me to hold my hand here, my right hand here, bring the stick up to a certain degree, and you're consciously thinking about the swing. You're consciously thinking about it, and it's mechanical. It's getting out of awkward, but now you're starting to learn, like, okay, this is what I do.
To it.
It's steps to it. Okay, step 1 is this, step 2, and then you're getting the mechanical phase. But if you mechanically swing a bat or shoot a ball or swing a golf club,
you talking only the
10,000. I know it's
guy.
but it's just
do
sports.
Some makeup, you know.
Okay, that's true. Makeup,
different things
draw with your left hand, piano, whatever you want to do. Okay, if you do that for 10,000 hours, 10,000 times, you are going to become a natural.
In the natural phase.
Natural
So you're going to be
phase.
the #1 top golfer.
Come on.
You're going to be Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, Kobe, LeBron James.
Come
you know, you're going to be the best at what you do. And so once you get into the natural phase, it becomes second nature to you. And once it's in second nature, I mean, there's just no stopping. But here it is. Here's what we want you to get. Becoming an expert of your spouse does not mean that you're just going to know all of them every second, every moment of
a place of
the
arrival.
hour. It's not a place of arrival. It's literally growing with your spouse in every different stage. And so becoming an expert, yes, it takes sacrifices, but it also takes growing. Growing, you know, like if you think about a plant growing from the dirt or whatever the case is, there's some things, some ugliness it has to go through to break through the dirt to become something beautiful. And so with that being said, sometimes it's gonna feel, you know, awkward. It's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel annoying. Most of the time we're gonna feel that more so on the inside, but eventually we're going to get to a space where we're thriving in it and we look good doing it. So
yeah, I love that.
In the beginning of our marriage, we did not have that down. We're 7 years in. We are better at it, but it's still not down. So that lets us know as we continue to journey together, it's not going to be a place of arrival or a destination. It's going to be a space where we continue to grow and evolve.
That's right. And that's a good segue into part 2 of this exact message. This one, becoming an expert of your spouse, requires sacrifice. And the next one, you got to stay tuned for. But as always, remember, getting more out of your marriage starts
with giving more in your marriage. Y'all see how I'm touching?
Let's go.
I'm trying to get that in.